What up, and welcome to Boring Reviews. Jodi here,
Nick
Nick
here.
there. And today we are checking out top 10 places to visit in Scotland.
Scotland.
We are going to Scotland, so hoping that there's some places we're going to on this list.
Probably not.
We're not able to visit as much as I wanted to visit in Scotland. You know, it's a lot to travel everywhere, and we only have 2 weeks.
And the cool thing is both of us, we're married. Okay?
What?
Not
No.
brother and sister, but both of us have ancestry that goes back to Scotland, which is really cool. And when we go there, we're going to fly into a place called Inverness. So I'm really excited about that.
Oh, into a place called Inverness. Oh, gosh. Wow.
I was asking her earlier before we were recording. I was like, we're going to Inverness, France, in Scotland. She's like, why? I'm like, don't worry about it. All for that joke.
Now we get it. I will say my mom was born in Scotland. Just going to put that out there.
I am going to say that my mom was not. So, if you're excited for our reaction to this is from Ryan Shirley. We reacted to a few of his videos, so go ahead and check out his channel if you like it. I like his voice. I like his narration style. I like the shots that he gets, so he has some great videos. If you like any of this from our reaction, please don't forget to
like, subscribe. That's the best I can do right now. And hit that notification bell so you can be aware of our next uploaded videos.
Here we go.
What's up, guys? My name is Ryan,
Yo.
and last summer I did a road trip around Scotland, and I want to show you my favorite places. So here's my Scotland top 10.
Oh, look at him run.
If you want to go back in time and feel like you're in a fairy tale, Scotland is the place for you. It's easy to see why so many legends and popular books such as Harry Potter have been born here. It's truly one of the world's most enchanted places. So for our first location, we're going to visit the Old Man of Storr. Now the Old Man of Storr is located on the Isle of Skye, which is about a 5-hour drive from Edinburgh. It's one of my all-time favorite rock formations. I felt like I was on the set of Game of Thrones. When you drive to the store, you can see it in the distance and it gets you like so pumped. It's just such a cool rock formation. Now, to hike to the Old Man of Storr, it's about a 4-kilometer walk. You'll go through some conservation gates and you'll reach the infamous rock pinnacles. I went there for sunrise and sunset, and both occasions were absolutely breathtaking. When I was there, crows were flying around the rocks and there was just some sheep running around. I mean, it was so magical. The legend of the Old Man of Storr is supposedly a giant lived there a long time ago, and when he was buried, his thumb was left sticking out of the ground, creating the mystical rock formations. When you go there, it's easy to see why it's one of the world's most iconic rock formations. I have to say this is one of my all-time favorite places, and I recommend everyone to see it at least once in their life. Just a few minutes away from the Old Man of Storr, there's a breathtaking waterfall called the Meout Falls that cascades down into the ocean. There's also a nice viewpoint where you can get a great view of the waterfall. There's also just beautiful sea cliffs in the area. One of the most famous is Kilt Rock, which looks like a kilt that descends down to the ocean. On the east side of the Isle of Skye, there's just such beautiful coastline there. So after, we're going to head over to another one of Scotland's most iconic locations, to the Glenfinnan Viaduct. So it's located at the top of Loch Shiel in the West Highlands of Scotland. It was completed around 1898, so it may look familiar because it was featured in Harry Potter. You'll see the train going there when it's heading to Hogwarts. So when I was there, I wanted to get a close-up to the bridge, so I walked underneath it, and I was just shook by how big it really was. I mean, those arches are just massive. So after, I hiked
I love the natural coloring, too, of the rock and everything. Now, we have reacted to some of these clips and shots from it must have been his UK video.
Yeah, because I paused Nick and I was like, wait, we've seen this. I recognize all this, and I'm ready for the fairy pools to pop up.
I'm still like 95% sure we haven't done this video, because I'm pretty sure in that video he saved the Harry Potter ones for later. He had said something like that. We'll get to that one later. So
yeah, he might have.
But some of these are familiar so far.
Vantage point where I could see the famous train go across the viaduct. I mean, it's just such a magical place. The backdrop of Loch Shiel is absolutely stunning, and definitely recommend visiting there. All right, so after Glenfinnan, we're going to head over to Edinburgh. Now, if you want to go back in time,
sure it's Edinburgh.
Edinburgh is
Let us
a
know.
must.
Edinburgh
is the place where J.K. Rowling was when she wrote Harry Potter. So when you're going to go there, you're going to get all sorts of magical inspiration. When I first started solo traveling,
Willow?
Edinburgh was one of the first places I've ever went to. It's this medieval old town with intricate neoclassical buildings, cobblestone streets, and beautiful gardens.
Okay.
The iconic Edinburgh Castle overlooks the city and is home to Scotland's crown jewels. When I was there, I didn't go to the castle because it was so crowded and I didn't really feel like spending money. Kind of regret it, but definitely recommend go checking that out. One of my favorite places in Edinburgh is Calton Hill. It's just a short walk from the castle and it offers a beautiful view of the city. They have this really cool national monument there, these really cool pillars. Alright, so while we're still in Edinburgh, we're going to head over to Arthur's Seat. Now, Arthur's Seat is located in Holyrood Park and is just a short walk from Edinburgh Center. Now, Arthur's Seat is an extinct volcano that has an elevation of 823 feet. When I was there, I just saw Arthur's Seat from the distance and I was like, okay, I want to hike it because I wanted to get a view of all of Edinburgh. So anyways, I made the hike up. You'll walk around Holyrood Park, take the short little hike up there. When I was there, it was so windy. I couldn't believe how windy it was. It nearly blew me over. After I hiked to the top, I went down and walked around Holyrood Park and just enjoyed the views of Edinburgh. Just such a beautiful city. So after Edinburgh, we're gonna head back over to the west side of Scotland to visit the Eilean Donan Castle. Hope I said that right. If you're driving to the Isle of Skye, you're gonna drive right by it. It's situated on a small tidal island at a point where three great sea locks meet. So the castle was built in the 13th century. I'm really mad at myself because I didn't stop here. When I first drove by it, it was good weather. I just didn't even know it existed. And then the second time I drove by it, it was just pouring rain. So I just couldn't even go to the castle. It's definitely one of the biggest regrets I have of it in Scotland. So definitely don't make my mistake and make sure you make a pit stop at one of Scotland's most famous castles. Alright, so after the castle, we're going to make the short drive over to the nearby Cullen Mountains. Now, the Cullen Mountains are this very unique mountain range located on the Isle of Skye. When I was there, I went to the Sligashan Bridge, which is at the base of the Cullen Mountains. The Sligashan Bridge is just super famous and scenic. When I was there, I didn't get many shots of the bridge because there was a lot of people on them. But I did get some beautiful shots of the mountains. They had such a unique shape. I love the contrast of the green peaks against the blue sky backdrop. I mean, it was just such a stunning location. Another enchanting location in the Cullen Mountains is the Fairy Pools. Now, the Fairy Pools is just a short 30-minute drive from the Sligashan. The fairy tales, they're just located at the base of the dramatic Cullen Mountains. I was just blown away by the vibrant green slopes and the dark mountain in the background. It was just pitch black. I felt like Gandalf was going to run down with a massive horse army, like in the Two Towers Lord of the Rings movie. It was just so epic. When I was there, there were so many midges, which are like these annoying gnat-like bugs that bite. I mean, they're just horrible. I didn't have any bug spray, so I didn't dare walk down to the pools. I mean, I wish I would have gone. I mean, those pools are just such an iconic sight. The water is so magical and so clear, so that's another one of my regrets when I went to Scotland. So make sure you either bring bug spray or go in a different time than August. That's when I was there. So after the fairy pools, we're going to head over to another mythical location, to the Fairy Glen. Now, the Fairy Glen is a very popular destination in the Isle of Skye. To get there, you're going to drive on this really small, sketchy road to get there. Find a little parking spot, and then you just make like the short 5-minute hike to the Fairy Glen. Now, what it's famous for is it has these rings of rocks, and people often put some money in the center as an offering to the fairies. When I was there, I found this really cool rock formation that I hiked to so I could get a better view of those rings, and I also got some really cool views of the area. I mean, the grass is just so green there. I mean, it was such a cool place. I felt like a kid walking around those green hills, keeping my eyes open, see if I could see any mythical creatures or any fairies. It'll put you in a magical mindset. All right, so
like
after
completely covered like a
Fairy
blanket.
Glen, we're going to head over to the Duncansby Stacks. Hope I said that right. Anyways, it's located in the most northern eastern part of the British mainland, just right at the tip there. It's quite the drive from Edinburgh, so it's quite the road trip. It's home to some of the world's most beautiful ski stacks. Unfortunately, when I was in Scotland, I didn't have enough time to drive up there, but when I'm back, I'm going to make sure I visit the dramatic landscape. I just can't get over how epic the sea pinnacles are. Just such an insane location. Alright, so after the sea stacks, we're going to head over to the Bedian Nam Bian mountain. Probably said that wrong. But anyways, I found this place by accident.
Sounds like me.
I was driving from the Isle of Skye down to Glasgow, and I stumbled upon this magical location. I mean, I couldn't believe how huge these mountains were. I felt like I was in Switzerland or Norway. I mean, I didn't even know Scotland had just big mountains. I thought it was pretty flat. The Bedain Nam Bian is 3,770 feet high, so it's just huge.
Jeez.
I mean, there's a scenic waterfall, and the valley was just beautiful. There was some sheep grazing. If you keep driving towards Glasgow, you'll pass some more massive mountains such as this one, and then if you keep going, you will drive by Loch Lomond, which is just another massive lake. This is why I love driving in Scotland. There's just so many beautiful occasions that you just stumble upon accidentally. Alright, so for our final location, we're going to head back over to the Isle of Skye to the Quiraing Mountains. Now, aside from the Old Manor Store, I'd have to say the Quiraing is one of my favorite places and landscapes in Scotland. It's a set of dramatic rock formations located on the side of a mountain. Quiraing was formed by a landslide long time ago. The grass is so green there, I felt like I'm like on a giant golf course. Anyways, to get there, I drove up this windy road. Be careful because I popped my tire because the road is super bumpy. Anyways, I got to the parking lot and I started the trek to the Quiraing. Now, it was a super easy hike. It only took me like 30 minutes. There's no elevation gain. On the hike, I came across some sheep that were just vibing. I also saw some really cool rock fields, and then I was just surrounded by just these magical mountains. They just have this really unique shape that I've never seen before. There's little lakes, and then you have the view of the ocean. It's just such a unique place. When I was there, I was lucky enough to have sunny weather. A lot of people I've talked to said when they've gone, it's just been so cloudy they couldn't even see anything. So I feel pretty fortunate about that. The Quiraing is just such a beautiful area that offers great hiking trails and just some of the world's most outstanding views. Alright, so that is it for my Scotland video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Scotland is just one of the world's most magical and beautiful places. There's a lot of locations that I left out, so much more to explore than just my video, but I hope this helps and hope it inspires you to visit somewhere new this year. If you guys like my content, make sure you subscribe and give this a like so more people can see it. Also, you can follow me on.
So we probably did react to the UK one because he said just slightly different about the fairy poles. And I'm pretty sure in the other one we reacted to when he's standing on that rock, he talked about it.
Yeah, that one was definitely familiar because we were like, whoa, how do you do that?
Yes. So first thing, a couple things. One, we live in the desert, so we don't see anything green like that.
Yeah, this is like
we
kid first seeing candy.
We live in a city of beige, like beige, brown. And so
we got some weeds.
We got some weeds, and we got some tan in there. And you know what? Some of our rocks are red. We got some like red in our rocks.
Yep.
But I'm so excited to see the green.
Yeah.
I have been tracking the weather, and the last several weeks.
And I keep hearing about it.
I know. The last several weeks have been beautiful and sunny, and now when we go, it is cloudy and raining, and naturally, that is our luck.
And of
I'm
course,
like, oh, please pass.
Weather predictions always reliable.
Always. So reliable.
The thing is, we're going to go there, and I'm going to expect to see, like, beautiful green, lush grass fields on beautiful rock formations with black rocks sticking out on one side, and the ocean or some lake or water, you know, pool of water,
see,
whatever,
like,
body of water on one side. And we're going to be, like, we're probably going to be in, like, urban areas or whatever. Who knows?
Well.
Probably not. Honestly, you should be like, well, don't you know where you're going to go?
Yes.
It's all up to her. Okay, so I'm following along, tagging along. Hopefully she allows me to go with her. We'll find out.
Yes, and I definitely want to go back and go to some places. I want to go to the Isle of Harris and stuff when we go back. But we are going to be in Stonehaven, so you will see the green and the beach and all that along with the castle.
I do like his taste. I'm not a huge hiker, never was. Our kids like to hike, and so I've done more of it later in life than I did when I was younger. I could care less about it, but with that, I've been more, open to like nature and scenery and whatnot. And he obviously is a huge hike. Everything is a huge hiker. He's like, oh, easy 30-minute hike. I'm like, 30 minutes.
Yes,
I'm done for the day.
Me too.
But I mean, he's got all this energy. But all these shots he's places he's going to are great, like scenic nature places, right? Where other videos might focus on like the best eats and the cities and this or that. He had a few castles in there, but I like his taste in scenery. It gives me like a beautiful idea of Scotland. Let us know, because by the time you watch this, honestly, we'll probably be back from our trip. Let us know if you live near any of these places. which of these places you recommend. Like him, like what's the percentage, the likelihood that you're going to get great weather while you're going there to see some of these more nature-filled sites. If there's some other videos about Scotland or anywhere in Europe, really, that you want us to check out, go ahead and comment below and let us know about those videos. Links would be great. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time.
Goodbye.